modernism does, I must tell you. You know, I come from a village. In the village, drinking is not an acceptable habit. So somebody who drinks, he will drink at 8 o'clock so that his identity is not known, cover his face, come with the rear of the house. The wife will say, please go and sleep before the child sees you. It's a very normal thing. It's not that somebody is forbidden from drinking, but there is a cost attached to drinking that you can't do it openly. Normal, this has saved the society for thousands of years. Modernity does this. Cocktail party, invitation. Why are you feeling shy? You have the right to drink. Hey, you drink, why do you advertise? You know, there are drinking shops here which serve girls free drinks on Wednesdays in city to acclimatize them to drinking. So modernity makes you shameless. We need a shy society. Shyness to do a wrong thing. These are all the ingredients of the social capital of India. And this is what makes India functional. You know, we have 6,68,000 villages and towns. You tell me how many police stations have we? 6,68,000 villages and towns. How many police stations have we? 12,800 police stations, most of them in towns. I come from a village. 15 years I was in a village. I never saw policemen except twice, and those 2 days there were elections in the village. That is the only disturbance we had. This is because of social capital, respect for elders, respect for teachers, respect for women. You know, you go to the slum areas, you must go. Otherwise you can't understand India, you go to village. You understand what I am saying? In front of a woman you are folding your dhoti and walking. In front of a woman you are smoking. In front of a woman you are using this language. Not a literate person. Do you appreciate that India? Do you know that India? A different India exists. And that India has safeguarded the fundamentals of human behavior. It may look rough, but it is very sensitive. So, my appeal to all of you is you must empty your thoughts, because the thoughts that you have acquired are not greatly complementary to India. And we are going to be a power by 2030, according to the National Intelligence Council of America, which is the intellectual think tank of the Central Intelligence Agency, CIA. They have said all these powers which are recognized as powers, whether it is Japan, whether it is Germany, whether it is France, all of them will disappear. There will be only 3 powers in the world, and that is America, China and India. But somebody saw this in 1897. And he had travelled across the country in 1888 to 1991. He travelled as a Parivrajaka, someone whose identity is not known. He just travelled across the country. His name was Swami Vivekananda. He only saw hunger, poverty, illiteracy. You know, between 1880 and 1900, India witnessed 22 famines which it had never witnessed in life. Lakhs of people died. That was the time when Swami Vivekananda was travelling across the country. He was so pained. With that, he goes in 1992 and makes a declaration, it is this society which is going to lead, because it has qualities which none of you have. The other man's viewpoint we can see. We can grow in economy, we can everything later. You can't acquire this quality. It requires acculturation of several centuries. Otherwise, you can't acquire this. Tolerating, accepting, respecting another man's viewpoint. This is inherent in this society. He said in 1897, things are so bad, but I am seeing something happening. And I am not a believer in astrology, nor am I a dreamer, but I am seeing a vision that Bharat Mata is sitting on the throne and ruling this entire world, then everything is over. Our people have accepted defeat. They don't even want freedom. White man has come, at least we are free from our troubles. This was the state of Indian intellectuals, rulers. But at that time Swami Vivekananda said this. And now the Economist magazine predicts India will be a global power, but it only asks the question, we don't know whether it wants to be a global power. To be a global power requires such self-confidence, understanding about yourself. Whether you want to be is the question, that you are going to be is decided. So the CIA's think tank, it says India is going to be a global power in 2030. Nobody can stop it, including the government of India. Because this is a society which can manage itself without police. You go to nationmaster.com and see the crime levels of India, including murder. India is the lowest in all crimes in the world. All crimes. Nationmaster.com, you go and see. It's all United Nations. Know about us first. Don't believe the newspapers. We say India is full of crimes because you are a crime reporter. In a year, 1,000 railway accidents are averted. No newspaper will publish it. One accident takes place, that will be published. Because the newspaper always publishes that which should not happen has happened. It is like a man biting a dog. I am from a newspaper, so I know what the newspaper will be interested. Dogs bite human beings. Can anyone write a news out of it? So thousands of dogs keep biting human beings. Nobody is bothered about it. That's the rule. The exception, man biting the dog. Somebody has bitten the dog in Vellore. Man bites dog in Vellore. And then after 2 days, another person bites a dog in Chennai. Man bites dog in Chennai. Another 3 or 4 days later, a man bites dog in Coimbatore. Then we get the impression dogs have stopped biting human beings. This is the perception about India created by the media. I will stop my speech with an article which one Emma O'Toole, a lady journalist, wrote in the Guardian newspaper in the month of January after the Delhi rape in the year 2012. She wrote this article in 2013. At that time, the entire Western media was saying it's a barbaric society. You believe the Bollywood projecting this great culture and all that, they are basically barbarians. This was the article. So Emma O'Toole wrote a reply. In this country, for a woman, the whole country was held up for 1 month. Now I am going to relate to you what happened in Steubenville in America. In the September 2012, the Delhi rape took place in December 2012. A girl of 17 was taken from parlor to parlor and butchered by a basketball team, and she was thrown on the road, almost half dead, raped by 20 men. The police would not register a case. She wrote, it is Emma O'Toole's writing, and one blogger, he wrote this, a libel case was put against him, and then the Delhi thing exploded. In the month of February, the police registered a case. In the month of March, the first arrest took place. She says the amount of rape that takes place in Delhi, which is 1/5 of England's population, is 1/5 of the rape that takes place in England. And the rape to population ratio in England is 80 times India's. The rape to population ratio in America is 40 times India's. The Justice Department of America has come out with the finding that 1/5 of the American women have been raped at some point or the other in life. It is not even an issue. Why it becomes an issue here, you know that? We respect our women. That is what M.R. O'Toole wrote. But do we understand it this way? A huge question. My appeal to all of you, even 10% of this audience take this advice, we can produce a different atmosphere in this campus. You know, Maharishi Aurobindo had come from Bengal. He was in Pondicherry. The entire revolutionary movement had been crushed. There was no hope, a complete darkness. Nobody was even thinking about freedom. So Aurobindo was looking at a madman called Kulachami, about whom Subramanya Bharati has written poems. He was a great mystic. And he was a madman. He will throw stones, he will laugh, he will cry. Aurobindo was saying, I am going to get answer from this man. Everybody thought Aurobindo has gone mad. He is looking at a madman to lead him. One day Aurobindo was sitting with his colleagues and taking tea. Kulachami came and lifted the teacup in front of Aurobindo, showed it to him. Teacup was full. He emptied it and showed it to him. It was empty. Aurobindo said, I have got my answer. You have lost your tea. Tell what happened. This is what his colleagues asked him. He has asked me to empty my mind and begin thinking afresh. That is my appeal to all of you. Thank you very much.